Good morning, mathematicians. This is Miss Lehman. Today we are going to talk about reading and writing decimal numbers. Now I know that my big yellow decimal point is kind of hidden by my box that is saying I'm sharing my screen, but I did put a big decimal point on this page because decimal points, they may be little, but that does not mean that they are unimportant. In fact, they're very important. They can drastically change the value of the digits in a number. And that's what we're going to take a look at. Guys, there are 4 steps to reading a decimal number. So if we take a look up at this number on the top in green, we can see that we have the digits 3 and 2 and 7 and 1. Those digits are seated in a place value position. Now, the way that we know where they sit in that place value position is all because of this decimal point. This decimal point tells us that what is to the left of it is a whole number, and what is to the right of it is a decimal value. So the first thing that we do when we read a decimal number is we read the whole number, just like normal. Here I have a 3. So I say 3. Then when we bump into the decimal point, we say the word and. And if you were in class with me, I would tell you to take that hand, make a fist, and punch it into your other hand. Because every single time that you say a number, you can only punch one time. There is only ever one decimal point in a number, so you can only say and one time. So you may want to do that. As you read your decimal values, make a fist and punch those decimal points because, again, that will help you make sure you're only saying and one time. Every number can only have one decimal point, so you can only say and one time as you read a number. Now, after I've done those 2 things, I've said 3, I've said and, then my next step is number 3. You're going to read the digits that follow the decimal point just as if they were any other number. Here I see a 2, a 7, a 1. When I put that together, I say 271, just like I would if they were a whole number. Now, since I know that these are not whole number values, these are decimal values, that's why I then do number 4. Number 4 tells us that you must say the unit where that final digit falls. Another way to say this is, what is the place value position of the very last number in your number? Okay, this 1 is seated in the thousandths place. So I say thousandths. Okay, when we put that together and do the 3, the and, the 271, and the thousandth, when we put that all together, that's how we're going to say that decimal number. Let's try it out. Say it with me. We're going to say 3 and 271 thousandths. How many ands did I say? Only 1. Let's say it one more time. Ready? 3 and 271 thousandths. Very good. Okay, now I also want to show you that there are different ways that you can write decimals. So what we just did in that previous slide is taking a look at the word form of decimals. How do we state or say a decimal? But certainly when we just record it with digits and decimal points, we can call that standard form or base 10 numeral. Again, guys, that's just the regular way that we are used to seeing numbers, okay? Again, guys, when I say the word form, the very most important thing is that I accurately describe the last place value position of that number. Where does it sit? Because we're going to state that in the word form. That's what's going to help us to ensure that those digits are in the right value, okay? But just as you learned in previous grades, and as we've talked about in this one, every single digit has a value based on its place value position. So certainly this 4 is sitting in the hundreds place. So it has a value of 400. This 5 is sitting in the tens place. So it has a value of 50. This 6 is sitting in the ones place, so it has a value of 6. The 9 is sitting in the tenths place. It has a value of 9/10. The 8 is sitting in the hundredths place. It has a value of 8/100. And the 7 is sitting in the thousandths place. It has a value of 7/1000. We could write all of those values, putting a plus sign between each and every one of them, and call that expanded form. Another way that we can write expanded form is to express it with some multiplication. Here we just write the digit, such as 4, but then we multiply it by the value of where it sits. The 4 sits in the hundred place, so I write 4 times 100. Plus, the 5 sits in the tens place, so I write 5 times 10. So see, expanded form can also be expressed with multiplication. It's very important at this grade level that we practice both ways, and we will do some more practice with reading as well as writing our decimal numbers in various forms.